This video is part of a Medicare 2012 My Experience V-Book series. This book is not an official Medicare publication and is provided in the hope that it may help some people. Every situation is unique, and the information provided here may or may not apply to your situation. This video focuses on the process that I went through in selecting a Medicare plan. This shows the 8 steps that I went through. First thing that I did was review resources, and you can go to the web book of this and look at the various things that I looked at there. There's official documents. The Medicare website's extremely valuable. And state government, the Medicare and You is a book that's available from the Medicare office, insurance agents, and so forth. After I looked at all those resources, or having looked at all those resources, I ended up identifying some basics about Medicare, and you might want to look through these. These might be helpful to you as you think about your Medicare process. I then analyzed the situation that my wife and I are in, and came up with these characteristics: age, health, drugs, finances, and so forth. Something you might want to look at. Then I narrowed options that I wanted to look at, and particularly used this Medicare and You book, page 15 of that, and page 57 of that were really helpful in narrowing down the choices, and I narrowed them down to 2: Original America, Medicare points A and B with Medigap coverage, and then Medicare Advantage were the ones I was going to be looking at. I then analyzed the cost of the various different options, and I'll have another video on that that talks specifically about gathering the data. But I ended up plotting a chart that looks like this, and really looked at what would happen if I was in excellent health or in poor health, and saying, okay, this is the range of costs that I might expect for for medical care. And you can do this the same. This chart is not a universal chart. This is particular for my location, and this is a chart that you could generate for your own situation. After I did the cost analysis, I looked at the providers that were available. If I was particularly looking at Medicare Advantage Part C, and I wanted to make sure that the providers that I was looking at were in their network, or I understood what I was going to do if they were out of the network. I then determined the cost of Medicare, and this includes a Medicare Part B, which you have to pay, and then a Medicare Part D. There's an adjustment there in some cases, and then other insurance costs. This is particularly Medicare Part C. That was what I was looking at. And then finally made the decision. In my case, both my spouse and I chose a 0 premium Medicare Advantage plan. This includes drug coverage out of network and allows for out of network providers, provides for some foreign travel coverage. Then I decided we're comfortable with changing some in network providers where we were comfortable doing that. Change to the in-network providers, and then recognize that Medicare is you don't get coverage when you're outside of the United States, and so to purchase separate coverage if we do any overseas travel. So again, this is the process that I went through, and I would suggest you might want to think about the process you would like to use. It might be similar steps. This is the home page for Medicare 2012 My Experience. On the home page, you will find links to the web book, ebook, hard copy book, and various V-books that are available.